Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. Welcome back to sort of a lunchtime midday show. And we're going to be catching up on a lot of the details that haven't necessarily been spoken as much about with regards to the transfer window. David Washington. We've got loan spells that have been rejected by Disasi, Raheem Sterling as well. So updates all around the park, really. And I'm joined by Kev. How we doing, mate?
Very well, very well, very well. Frustrating with a couple of things that's happened again, but just normal now, isn't it, bro? It's normal, and I'm sure we'll speak about it more. But all in all, we're second in the league going into the first international break. What else can we ask for? Hopefully, we can push forward and elevate the performances. That's all we can ask.
That's all we can do, mate. That's all we can do. I will say this, though, which is that, you know, it's a bit of a weird situation to be in when you've done so much, but you still feel like there's still other things that you can achieve and there's other things that you can do. And that's where I think a lot of the frustrations are with a number of people on the transfer window. I mean, I spoke with Charlie yesterday. We did a podcast. And he's very frustrated with a number of the decisions we've made. But he also appreciates the good stuff, but you still have that frustration. I mean, where do you stand on the window at the moment?
Still a 5-10 window, bro. Private George agreed terms, and he was looking to be gone, and that cancelled last minute. You end up bringing back players that are not going to be part of your plans, and it's still a bit of a mess, isn't it, bro? Irrespective of obviously the good stuff which has happened the last couple of months with us winning trophies and getting Champions League, sometimes the negatives overshadow all the good work we've been doing, and we just need to be more clear with the signings we're making. And when Maresca's come out and he said numerous times he wants a centre back, he wants a goalkeeper, and we don't end up getting none of them. We end up bringing in two more wingers once again. So yeah, bit frustrated of it all, but hopefully we can do the business with what we've got. But I just feel like Maresca hasn't been backed with what he wants.
You feel like he hasn't been backed?
No.
Would you say more so he's been backed than he hasn't? Because I would argue that, if you're going to have a debate about, right, has he been backed, has he not been backed, I think there's more in favour of him, being supported by the ownership.
He's been backed on from the attacking positions. He's been backed. We've brought in how many attacking players, bro? And we've only brought in two defensive players, which one of them has been loaned out, I believe. Is Sars still with us, or is he gone on loan? I think he's still with us, isn't he? Yeah. So when you think of the overload of attackers we brought in,
no, Sars is Strasbourg, mate.
Yeah. So we brought in two defensive players, and one of them has been loaned out, and we clearly wanted to stiffen up the defense. He's came out publicly saying that he wants a centre back. We all know Sanchez we can't trust, and he hasn't been backed. So from the attacking prospect, yeah, I believe that we are clear of last season. There's better attacking options, but is football just about the attack? Equally important to stiffen up your defense, and that's what we haven't done. So I will not be blaming Maresca. Say, for instance, in the January when we are 7th place, 8th place, and everyone's pointing fingers at the manager once again. I will not. I don't care how bad your performances get. I will never point the fingers at Maresca. The sporting directors have to be held accountable because we have Sanchez in goal as your number one. So say no more, brother. Yeah, that's all I can say.
I mean, in fairness to Sanchez, he hasn't had a stinker this season yet, so I think it's a bit harsh to call him out. but I know what you mean when you talk about trust. You wanna feel confidence in whichever player that you have in your team, and I don't necessarily think you get that from Sanchez. So that's understandable. What I will say is that there's a lot of information, guys, on the window that I still don't think we've addressed. So I think we're going to try and go through that first, Kev, and then obviously we can go through a little bit more. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, guys. We'll answer any questions throughout. Big up to Harayo. Big up to Mahiz. I hope Liam. I hope you're doing well. Listen, guys, as the updates come, we will fire them out on YouTube as well. Sorry if this come out a little bit later. For some reason, this was unlisted for a few minutes, so it's now public on YouTube. If you're watching on X as well, big up to all of you. So, I mean, let's get started with this straight away, Kev. So, where do we start? Let's start off on this one. Fermin Lopez. We've heard a number of things, not just from Fermin Lopez, but also from other people that were involved in the situation. When asked about the Chelsea interest, he said that it's always a compliment when there's interest from other clubs. But the truth is, I always had the idea of staying at Barca and being able to succeed here. So again, this kind of reiterates the fact that it's not the club that didn't do anything right or did something wrong. It's just that the player wanted to stay at Barcelona, and it takes two to tango. So if a player's not interested, that's fine. I don't really think there's much else we can do. Now, if it's like Xavi Simons and he picks Tottenham, then slightly different conversation. But, he's just going to stay put. He wants to stay at Barcelona, and I think that you just have to respect that decision and move on.
Yeah. That's fair. I just feel like we leave when you've gone through that many players you've been linked with, and you leave the Fermin Lopez transfer to the last minute, and you offer them so minimal, £40 million for one of the best up and coming midfielders. I just knew it wasn't going to work. I just knew it. As soon as I seen it publicised that was going in for him, I didn't have one bit of hope that he was going to get put through. So it wasn't a surprise to me when the deal got rejected and he said he was going to stay. I just didn't come as a surprise. I feel like he's more of a centre midfielder. I feel like those positions are already covered. I just felt like we needed someone to cover Cole Palmer in attacking midfield positions, and that's what we've gone and done. And people have not come out. There's a lot of people that haven't spoke about Budinate. Brighton we signed.
Buonanotte.
Yeah. That's Buonanotte. He hasn't been talked about enough, brother. The guy is actually a decent player, and I'm actually excited to see him. So it doesn't matter about Fermin Lopez not coming, because we've gone and done some good business getting a loan deal for Buonanotte. So it is what it is, bro. And like I said a minute ago, when we went in for him with £40 million in the last minute, was everybody surprised that the deal never went through? Me certainly not. So yeah, we move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this directly, but I saw from Jordan earlier on in the chat. He said, quoting Yamal, this is by Fabrizio apparently. He said, we were joking with Fermin about moving to England. Nobody wants to leave. We asked him about the bid, but he's happier and has had no plans to leave. So that gives a little bit of clarity on the Barcelona situation. Again, you've just got to find another solution as far as I'm concerned. Any news on the new shirt sponsor? Not at the moment, but I mean, we can certainly have a look. We can look into that. That's fine. And the stinker against West Ham. What stinker are we talking about? The 5-1? What stinker are we on about? I'm not understanding that question.
To be fair to you, he hasn't had much to do.
Oh, you talking about Robert Sanchez? Sanchez.
In the games I've seen him, he hasn't had much to do, but his distribution.
I mean, I wouldn't say West Ham was a stinker. I wouldn't say that. It was a really good goal by Paqueta, but you could argue maybe Sanchez could do better. I think we've seen a lot worse. So I mean, I wouldn't say that was the worst game I've ever seen him play.
He put his wrong hand out. Simple as that, bro. If you're come on, it's not rocket science. If a ball's going there, why would you dive with that hand? Why would you not just go with the strong
I
side?
think because it's his strong hand. That's why he's doing it.
It doesn't matter. It's not rock. You've got two hands.
It's
Your
like when you have
goalkeeper.
an easy pass on your left foot, but you're right-footed. You try and pass with your right a lot of the time.
This is the thing. What I'm trying to say, bro. We need a better keeper, bro. It's
I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying that.
Yeah. And
I mean, I wouldn't say that Sanchez was to blame for the Eze goal that didn't count against Paz. That was just a very difficult thing to see. He couldn't see anything. So, I mean, that's really harsh. Really, really harsh. But I mean, everybody knows my thoughts on Sanchez if you've been watching the channel regularly. So you'll know that I'll be the first person to criticize him. But I don't think that Sanchez has been the big problem this season so far. But that being said, many more games to play. Big up to Pierre. Big up to Alesso as well. Did you see after Chelsea versus Fulham match at 16 had a real gun? Apparently it was fake. I mean, I don't really want to get too much into this because, we want to try and talk football on here. But we were very close to where that happened when we were filming. So, obviously everyone's safe. That's the most important thing. Yes, Piggy, good to see you. Big up to Harry as well. Big up to Josh. Big up to Natalie. She gets nervous whenever Sanchez is on the field. Listen, I don't disagree that we need an upgrade. I'm just not criticizing him because I don't think he's actually had a bad start to the season so far. I mean, it's not been shocking, has it? So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Interesting as well on Esteval. When you look at what's happened with him, the Athletic have. They've come out and said Chelsea ignored interest from clubs in the Premier League, Europe, and elsewhere for Andre Santos. So it's basically an article about the last 48 hours of the transfer window and some of the ins and outs to do with that. Which, to be fair, Kev, I'm happy to go through if you want. I mean, that's kind of the idea, I guess, of the stream is to sort of recap on anything we haven't done, and if need be, we can run over a little bit. That's absolutely fine. So I'll just go from the top. Chelsea summer window was busy from day one, but the biggest drama was saved until last. As the Chelsea hierarchy sat down to watch the team host Fulham on Saturday afternoon, everything was under control, and there was only a handful of outgoings left to sort out. And that all changed when Liam Delap pulled his hamstring and then had to come off. Up in the VIP box at Stamford Bridge, a discussion was held about what to do. Sources speaking anonymously to The Athletic to protect relationships reveal that a message was then sent to Chelsea's medical team to get Delap to the hospital for a scan immediately. Normally, clubs will opt to take a few days before conducting a first significant test on such an injury, but certainly don't feel the need to rush a player to hospital over what was just a suspected hamstring strain. Such drastic action is usually reserved for much more serious issues. Given the ramifications for their forward line with the transfer deadline looming, Chelsea had no time to lose. And there was one big question: what should they do about Nicholas Jackson? By this stage, Jackson was already on a flight to Germany, having been given permission earlier that morning to have a medical at Bayern Munich, in the view of joining them on loan for 15 million euros with an option to buy worth another 65. This incident put that all in doubt. Chelsea knew they would not be able to get a completely accurate diagnosis of how bad Delap's injury was, because it was so soon after it happened. However, they could get a gauge at least. And the decision makers were quickly informed that it was not looking good, and this was going to be a minimum of 6 to 8 weeks on the sidelines, possibly longer. After discussions were held between members of the recruitment team, ownership, and head coach Enzo Maresca, the club got in contact with Bayern soon after the Fulham match had ended to inform them that Jackson was no longer available for loan under any conditions. Permission to undergo the medical was revoked, with Jackson and his representatives then called to deliver the bad news that the deal was off and he would be staying at Chelsea. The only way this point could be revived, at this point it could be revived, was if Bayern bought him outright, so on a permanent transfer. And yet that was always unlikely to happen. Bayern wanted an initial loan to begin with, and they did not have the funds for a transfer of this size. Now, this turn of events prompted one of Jackson's close associates involved with the deal, Diamansi Kamara, Ali Barat is his official agent, to post a story soon after on his Instagram account, which read, "We are not going back. The plane doesn't go backwards." And he was true to his word. Jackson and his entourage remained in Munich, that the hope of something could be resolved. Fast forward 24 hours, and it still did not look likely, even though the Athletic reported on Sunday that Chelsea were looking at potential strikers to sign. One of them being Sporting Lisbon attacker or striker Conrad Harder. An inquiry to the club and the player was made, but it went no further than that. He went on to join RB Leipzig. He rejected Chelsea. Bayern Munich conceded the deal was off on Sunday evening and began looking at alternatives, one of whom was Atalanta's Ademola Lookman. So how did the situation change for Jackson to end up posing for pictures in a Bayern Munich shirt late on Monday with a switch secured? Again, Kev, as soon as we've finished on Jackson, we'll review it and then we'll go for the rest. Chelsea's decision to look into recalling teenage striker Mark Guehi from a season-long loan from Sunderland on Sunday offered Bayern Munich encouragement to pick up the phone once again. Chelsea had decided Guehi was the best option rather than buying or loaning someone else. And to get that sorted in case something with Jackson, who was also the subject of interest from 3 Premier League clubs, took place, there was no release clause for this window in terms in the terms agreed with Sunderland earlier that month, while there could have been for January. Chelsea ended up having to agree to repay the loan fee they had charged Sunderland to get him back. I will also say this, Kev, which I think I spoke with you about. Sunderland would have had to have paid Chelsea a fee if he hadn't have played a certain amount of games. So we didn't know that Chelsea repaid the loan fee, but obviously it didn't actually cost them anything really because they didn't lose money, did they? They just repaid the money that was already paid to them. Discussions resumed with Bayern late on Sunday and continued on to Monday. Crucially, both parties were willing to compromise. Bayern were prepared to change the deal so it would include a conditional obligation to buy next summer rather than just a simple option. With Jackson still in Germany and clearly still setting his sights on joining Bayern, Chelsea were also ready to negotiate, especially as they had now secured cover with Mark Guehi. Soon after 3 p.m. UK time, a deal was struck worth a bit more than the first. The loan fee was now up to 16.5 million, with the obligation staying at another 65 million euros, plus a sell-on clause, which is 10%, if I'm not wrong. Getting all the paperwork signed off was not the issue, and late on Monday, the obligatory announcement on Bayern's website was made, with Jackson posing next to the board member for Sport, Max Erbel, and the sporting director, Christopher Froome. And Jackson said, "I'm really happy to be a part of this great club. Bayern is one of the best clubs in the world. I've got big goals and dreams here, and I will give my all to help Bayern win further titles." So that's Bayern Munich. That is Mark Guehi. That's Nicholas Jackson. Let's start off there, Kev. Quite a lot in there. A couple of things that we didn't necessarily know. I wasn't 100% sure that Chelsea had to repay the loan fee. That makes sense. The loan fee for Jackson went up by €1.5 million. And I think, just a little bit more depth, really, a little bit more detail.
Yeah. Chelsea have been smart with that one, haven't they? With Jackson. Squeezed a bit more money out of him. And I was saying it earlier. Brought it for £35 million, and they've doubled it, haven't they? If it does go next year with a full transfer sale, we've doubled with the loan fee and the transfer fee would have doubled the money on him. So not bad business at all. But I just feel like he shouldn't let someone go to bring him back, bro. It just doesn't look good, you know. Irrespective of what happened with Delap, Jackson's gone now. He's got the plane. He's in Germany. Irrespective of the injury, that's it. It's done. I feel like we should have probably gone and looked at other alternatives. Obviously, we've recalled David Washington. We've recalled Mark Guhi. Have I got it right? Have I got it right? Have I? Mark Guhi.
Mark Guiu.
Guiu. I will get it right one day. But it's been a year and I still ain't getting it right. Bloody hell. Mark Guiu. So we've got to record him. And yeah, we haven't lost out, you know. So it's just a bit frustrating that it had to come to that. But I'm just happy that Delap got the injury so soon into the season and not on international break or something like that. Because imagine the pressure now that we would have put ourselves under having just one fit striker available in the squad. You basically just reverted back to the back end of last season when Jackson got injured and we was playing Neto. So this happened the right time. I'm sure Delap will be back sooner than what we think. I've heard that he's got another 5 weeks and he'll be back. Now we've obviously got Mark Guihu to take a bit of weight off Pedro's shoulders. And obviously, I feel like he'll play the cup competitions, sorry. So, yeah, I feel like Jackson, the writing was on the wall. Unfortunate for Sunderland, we've had to recall their number 9, but that's the way it goes sometimes. And I feel like it was the right thing to do. What we don't want to be doing is putting too much pressure on Pedro's shoulders. He then gets an injury because he hasn't had a full pre-season, and then we're left in no strikers again. So, yeah, they had to react to the situation, and they did it very quickly. And, yeah, it worked out pretty well.
It worked out in the end. You know, we're in a situation now where I know there are some fans that are unhappy. Obviously, we can address those comments, but I think most people are pretty okay with where we are. Feeling good. You know, feeling like okay, if someone gets injured, we could be in trouble. But isn't that every club in the world, Kev? You know, it's you said the other day. You were like, well, what if João Pedro gets injured? It's like, well, what if Cunha and Mbeumo get injured for Man United? What if Haaland gets injured and another player at Man City? Like every club in the world will obviously struggle if they lose one of their best players in key positions. This is just the reality of football. There is an element of risk. You can never guarantee success. You can give yourself a higher chance it will work. And that's why we want depth and we want quality, but you can't guarantee anything.
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like with the striker positions, the attacking positions, it's best to have 3 to each position rather than the defensive players. I feel like the attackers, they do a lot more running. They are a lot more liable to pick up injuries. That's the way I think. So when we left ourselves with 2 strikers, risky business. I said from day one, Mark Guihi should have stayed and been the backup to Delap and Pedro. I'm seeing right now in the chat that Guihi can't play in the League Cup. So
yes, because he already played for Sunderland.
Yeah, so that's a bit sticky. But obviously with Tyree George not going to Fulham, he can play as a striker, so he can probably get a run against Lincoln. So it's not all bad news. I just feel like we need to make sure this season going into that many games, we haven't had the proper pre-season. It's just literally gone from last season straight to this season. We've got to be really careful and making sure that we've got enough players to cover positions so we're not getting injuries. Obviously, looking at it right now, we've had 3 injuries in a week, you know, to key players. So, you know, obviously we've got 2 weeks off now, international break. I'm seeing that Enzo Fernandez hasn't gone an international break. He's resting. I think he's in Greece at the moment. So I'm sure that Chelsea would be giving the players the rest that they need because it hasn't been an easy pre-season. You know, it's just gone straight through. So it's all about preparing now, getting the squad prepared, and then starting the season again once the international break finishes.
Yeah. You know what? I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm sorry, mate. It's my fault. It's my fault. Okay. We were meant to do a stream at 10 p.m. last night. Honest truth, I was asleep at 8 o'clock and I was so tired. I was so tired. It wouldn't have been a good stream. It wouldn't have been a good stream. I was too tired. So that's why we're doing it now, as opposed to doing a late one tonight, because something else could pop up, and then obviously we'll do another stream later on in the evening. So that's why we're doing one now. So you might have two today. You might have two. But yeah, that is the idea. So apologies for anyone that was waiting for that stream. Usually pretty reliable. Big up to Shano as well. It is. It's not great that we messed up the paperwork on George and the Datra deal. I mean, we're going to go into more because this Athletic piece is not done as it stands. So we've spoken about Guy, we've spoken about Jackson. Let's continue. So despite being for sale all summer, no offers came in on deadline day for Raheem Sterling. Defender Axel Disasi had loan bids from 3 Premier League clubs that did not want to go to any of them. Striker Deivid Fofana was close to securing a championship loan move to, I think it was Charlton. But the paperwork was finished just too late by the lower division side and it fell through. The greatest regret fell in the confines, within the confines of Chelsea, though, was Tyreek George's move to Fulham, who first signalled their intent a month earlier, breaking down. A package worth £22 million plus a sell-on clause was in place, yet fell through at the last moment. The academy graduate will now continue to be a part of the senior setup and also be named in Chelsea's Champions League squad for the group phase. As of any arrivals, Facundo Buonannote's loan move from Brighton and Hove Albion was officially announced, but that had been signed off on Friday. And as The Athletic reported, there was no further attempt to buy Fermin Lopez from Barcelona. We obviously saw the quote from him earlier on in the stream. Chelsea were in an upbeat mood after the window was shut, feeling that the squad is now better than the one that finished fourth in the Premier League last May. 6 additions were made on top of Esteval Willian and Dario Asugo, whose signings were secured in advance. Plus, the highly rated Andre Santos is now involved after impressing on loan at Strasbourg. The club ignored interest from clubs in the Premier League, Europe, and elsewhere for the Brazil midfielder, including loans. The club offloaded over 20 players, and of these, only Nodi Madueke, Jadon Sancho, Chelsea pulled out of their obligation to buy from Manchester United at the end of his loan. And Jackson were regulars under Maresca last season. So in terms of regulars from last season, Madueke, Sancho, and Jackson. So when you think of the turnover, Kev, that we've actually made in terms of the amount of players we've got rid of, there's 11 people in a starting 11. There's 25 people in a squad. We got rid of 3 key parts of what was happening last season. And I would say with Sancho, it was his best ever season in the Premier League. Still pretty average, if I'm being honest. Madueke was better than he has been previously. Still pretty average in my mind. And then Jackson actually got worse. So when I look at what we've replaced that with, we can obviously speak about that in a second. But just the fact that we've only changed 3 key parts of the squad, does that make you feel like, oh, actually, we haven't overhauled everything. We're just sort of taking things out that aren't really working. We're giving them time. It's not like they haven't had an opportunity. And then we're going to put someone else in their place.
Yeah.
And obviously making a profit. Nobody can deny that.
The last bit was the most important bit, brother. The profit. Let's be real. But I just feel like the sporting directors, they are more precise and calculated in the way that they're operating. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. It's not the way we used to operate under a Peter Kenyon or a Maria Slava, where it was just go and get the best of players, not think about it, And if it didn't work, we'd have sell them on and lose money. They are now being a bit more calculated in the way they're doing it, which is understandable. The club is being run better as a business, but on footballing terms, it's not being run how it used to be. It's just one of them things, bro. It's a different ownership, so we can't keep on going off the Roman Abramovich stuff. A lot of people are still stuck in the ways and the thinking that we're just gonna go and sign players for signing players for the sake of it. These sporting directors are calculated and precise. I still think that the Manyan deal, they will probably try and get that done in January, and they'll get it for a lot cheaper. The guy we can get him for free in January. Do you understand that? So why would you go and spend 25 million euros when you can wait 6 months and get him for free? I'm starting to understand the reason why they do certain things, and it makes sense. When it's the FFP and the FIFA and UEFA coming down on people, finding people, you have to be very careful in the way you operate. So I can see why they're doing certain things, but it's frustrating knowing that they haven't gone and strengthened to what the manager wanted it to be. Like, you understand, the manager was screaming for a centre back, he was screaming for a goalkeeper, and he hasn't had none. So this is where I'm at right now. Can we really start blaming Maresca once again if shit hits the fan? When Sanchez is giving away chances, when the defence are giving away goals, we cannot blame the manager because he's already identified what he wants in that squad. Did he want a Garnacho? Really? I'm asking you a question now.
I think that he would be happy with Garnacho, yeah.
But did he want him?
Well, I don't think he didn't want him.
No, I cannot see Maresca on his list of players he wants having Garnacho on that list. That is a sporting director.
But he's not in charge of the recruitment, Kev.
Yeah. So there you go.
But it's irrelevant.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to get to is don't give the managers players that he doesn't want. The manager has said
it's not about who he wants and doesn't want. It's about who fits the system.
Yeah. So he's saying that he wants a centre back. Levo Cole was out for the season. He has said he wants a centre back, and you haven't gone and got one. So the manager's telling you what he wants. The sporting directors usually are the ones that negotiate and get what the manager wants. They haven't gone and done it, brother. So we cannot blame the manager for anything that goes on the season, brother. The blame has to go to the sporting directors. That's my opinion.
Boji said that Maresca said he wanted a left winger as well. I don't know if that's true, but we'll find that out for you. We can find that out. Go on, keep going, Kev.
Sure. I'm not sure. But he did get a left winger, didn't he? He got Gittins. So the sporting directors.
Oh, you can't tell me he wanted Gittins more than Garnacho. Come on, mate.
I don't know, bro.
Come on, Kev. I mean, if we're going to make that, he said centre back and left winger. Okay, we'll clarify that. But yeah, listen, we spoke on deadline day with Dharmesh, and we went through the sales and the signings, what we liked, what we didn't like. We all agreed that we liked the majority of what we did, and that is why, ultimately, even with Maresca wanting a centre back, Kev. Yeah, I want a lot of things. I don't get them all. It's just life. It's life. And it's a top job and it's a tough job. If it wasn't a tough job, then, you know, you'd see managers lasting longer in the Premier League, not even just Chelsea. Every job's tough. You got to work with what you have and still find a way to get the best out of that team. So we have seen over the past number of games, whether you want to admit it or not, we are very, very capable of getting clean sheets with the players we have. Are we able to pass the ball out in the same way? Not necessarily, although Tosin, I think, is quite good at it. But without Tosin, maybe you're going to struggle a little bit more. But then you have to find solutions. You can't be a one-trick pony.
Yeah, but yeah, I understand. I mean, look, I'm not stupid enough to understand that you have to work with what you've got. But you've just hit the nail on the head yourself. Your best playing centre back in Colwell is out. You haven't gone and replaced him. Imagine now if Tosin gets an injury or Chalobah gets an injury. You are then left with Badiashile and Disasi, bro. This is my worry, brother. This is my worry. Like, you could have gone, you've had all transfer window to get rid of these players and bring in someone else to stiffen up that back four, which the manager has asked for. So the blame cannot go onto Maresca if shit hits the fan, because he's identified the weaknesses. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I agree. You have to work, and everybody wants things. I want a Lamborghini. I'll probably never get one. You all want stuff in life, bro, which you'll probably never get. But this is football, bro. The sporting directors are put in place to do their job, and they're consistently not doing it properly, bro. When it comes to this literally going out and it's getting attacking players, bro, attackers. I cannot remember the last time we signed a top centre back. And don't say Joe Hatcho was one, bro. He's up and coming centre back, bro.
No, he's top.
He's top. He's not a top centre. He's not a top centre back, bro.
He's top cover in the position of left back, and has the ability to play as a centre back. Top.
He's got the potential to be a top player. He's too. He's too. What's the word I'm looking for? He is not experienced enough at the top level.
He captained Ajax at 19 years old.
That's the Dutch league. You're talking about the seventh.
It's Ajax. He's captaining them at 19. You're questioning his experience.
So the Dutch league Hakim Ziyech looked like Messi in the Dutch league, bro.
Well, let's just to be clear with Ziyech. I mean, Ziyech never played, so I mean, it's very difficult to judge his ability. And even when he did play under Tuchel, he was all right. The problem is that he didn't play. The thing is with Hatto, mate, is, I mean, I don't know why we're shitting on Hatto here, because he's a good signing, very good value for money as well. You know, that's not a signing you complain about. That's literally what everybody's been complaining about, just as a centre back. But we know Hatto's more of a left back. You know, I'm with you on that. But he can play centre back based on what we saw. We can do it. I will say this: I saw him in pre-season. He's a lot smaller than I thought he would be. He's not actually that tall. So when you're thinking of you know, going up against, I remember the opening day of the season, I thought, oh, maybe we'll have Hatto in the middle. And then I saw Mateta and I thought, fair play. Probably best not to play him against some of those big strikers. But no, I like Hatto, mate. I like Hatto. Hatto's not the player we complain about in this window, mate. Honestly, out of all the players, he's not one of them.
I'm saying Hatto, I just feel like I haven't seen enough of him yet. I've seen enough of him to suggest that there's a world-class player there, but potential versus reach the potential is a total different story, brother.
He's good enough to slot in as in Chelsea's squad right now. I can tell you that. I think he's good enough to slot in.
Yeah, but I just want a centre back who's 28 and over. He's experienced at top level.
It's not happening. It's not happening, Kev. No, it's not.
That's it, then. You said it. It's not happening, bro. So can we continue to keep blaming the manager when they're not going out and identifying that we need an experienced goalkeeper, we need an experienced centre back going into a Champions League campaign? I am all for bringing in 19-year-old defenders and building them up. And you know,
Kev, can we just highlight? Can we just highlight when we're talking about? Let's look at Hatto example, the specific example. One of the best in the world in his position for his age group. One of the best in the world. Not only one of the best in the world, he's captain, mate. Not only did we do it, we didn't overspend. We paid a very good price. Ajax wanted 47 million. We got 37. Okay. You're telling me that's not good value for money. It's fantastic. Dean Huijsen went for 50 to Madrid. So, you know, if we're looking at examples in the same range, that's similar. Although Dean Huijsen Premier League proven, that's another argument. I mean, I'm not defending everything about our policies. I get it. I know our transfer business is unique. I'm fully aware. But what I will say is this, Kev. Our short-term struggles have contradicted our long-term gains. And it's like anything. If you own a stock, you know, you know all about stocks, right? Stocks go up and down, up and down, up and down. But then you look at the end of the year, you've been watching this stock and you go, oh, it's gone up by 15%. So if I would have held it from the beginning, I would have made a 15% profit. And I'm not sitting here talking about money. I'm just talking about improvement. That's the example I'm giving. Yeah. You're seeing growth. You're seeing better league table finishes. So as long as that is the direction we continue to move, and you go from 12th, you go to 6th, you go from no trophies to 2 trophies, you go from 6th to 4th, then what's the next step? All right, you're in the Champions League. Let's see a respectable run. I want to win a domestic cup. I want to improve in the league. That means 3rd, 2nd, or 1st. And then after that, you're talking about league titles. I mean, we're still talking about league titles, but we're not. I don't think we actually believe we're going to win it. But we believe we can compete, right? So that's, mate, it's all steps forward. And people talk about a spine. You know, I've been the biggest critic of this ownership. You know, I've never been a critic of the board, really. I mean, there are things that I thought were a bit strange. I'll agree with that. But like, that's not been my biggest. Like when things haven't gone well, I haven't spoken about the board. They are working within the parameters of what they're allowed to do, and that the owners set the boundaries, right? So within those boundaries, we have got better and better and better and better and better. So Shano says we spent 90 million on Gittins and Garnacho. That's criminal. I'm with you on Gittins. I'm with you there. Way too much. Garnacho, it's a fair deal. Whether you like him or not, it's a fair deal. I'm not saying it's a good deal. I'm not saying it's a bad deal. It's a fair deal. Because you look at Man United fans and what they're saying about that deal. They are pissed. They are not happy. And then we're sitting saying we're not happy. You can't both be unhappy. Somebody's getting a better deal than the other. And if you're both unhappy equally, it means it probably is fair, right? You've both made compromises.
It's just because it's Garnacho. That's the only reason why people are happy. Because we've seen him disrespect his club. We've seen him just been a soul count. We've seen him be unattached to the fan base. We've seen him be unprofessional, smoking vapes, etc. You know, this is the reason why none of us are happy with this.
I didn't know that.
He's a big vapor, massive vapor, isn't he?
He still vapes.
There's pictures of him. I'm not quite sure about now, but there's videos of him having a puff on holiday and stuff like that. So it's just not the sign he wanted. We were looking for a Rodrigo start of the window when that was out there, that Chelsea are looking at Rodrigo, and we all knew we weren't getting him. So when you've gone for someone like Rodrigo and then we end up with Garnacho, that's the reason why we're all pissed, bro. But end of the day, I don't feel like it's a bad signing. I feel like there is an absolute top player there. And you said the other day, brother, there's no player under the age of under 21 that has more GAs in Europe in the top leagues.
I didn't even know that, mate. I was surprised when I heard that. So, you know, there are some things that go under the radar. We're going to backtrack as well, Kev, because we were talking about things that Maresca has said that Chelsea needed in this window. So the positions. So these are the quotes that we have, and I've even got dates and everything. Okay. So the first position was a winger, and this was in the Club World Cup on the 16th of June. He said, Jadon Sancho's not going to be with us. So for sure, that is a position we need to do something. We have Noni, Pedro, and Ty as the only proper wingers. So something is for sure going to happen. So he did mention wingers. Centre-back. He spoke about centre-backs on the 10th of August. He said, it's a priority for me to sign a new defender. Levi is a fantastic player. We are going to miss him. He said the club know exactly what I'm thinking. And this was on the 15th of August, this one. I think we need a new central defender, but we are also looking for an internal solution. And then he's spoken about a striker after Delap got injured. He said, when you have 2 strikers, it's enough. When one of them is injured for different weeks, it's probably not enough. So that is the 3 positions that Enzo Maresca has spoken about. That's the 3 positions. So what I will say is that the day after he spoke about wanting a new centre back. It was like a couple of days after. He basically said that, what I meant was we're looking for internal solutions. He kind of backtracked, but I don't think you can ignore what he said in the first place.
It's probably because the board said, no, you ain't getting a centre back, bro. Simple as that. So go back out in the press and just go back on your mistake. Literally, he's probably spoke from the heart, and the board have said, look, you're not getting a centre back. And when you think in the market right now, there is top centre backs across Europe to go and get. That's one position in football right now that they're not short of top class players, and we haven't still to this day gone and replaced Thiago Silva. I still like we haven't replaced it yet after all these years. And Colwell, I thought that Colwell needed someone next to him to raise his game. Now Colwell's injured. We are now left with our two second choice defenders for the whole season. Probably it's looking like you're going to have your two second choice centre backs as your main centre backs now. Going to Champions League. Tosin hasn't got no Champions League experience. Chalobah, okay, he has decent European experience, but with them two playing in front of a Sanchez, can you really trust that going against some top players? I can't, bro. So this is it. This is where Maresca is right. He's a yes man. We all know that he gets told what to say, but he was right to say that I want a centre back, because it's not rocket science that we need one. We need a top centre back, and these SDs are still not going and getting the business done, bro. So,
mate, but you say it like it's easy, like we can just go out and get Bastoni. You know?
No, I'm not saying I'm not bothered. If you send the Benfica Chelsea game in the Club World Cup, Antonio Silva, what a play he was. He looks solid. I'm happy with someone like that. He's young, 22, I think 22, 21. He fits the bill. Strong. Antonio Silva, is it?
Yeah.
Portuguese centre back. Yeah, there you got him. So someone just put it in the top for me.
But I think one of the reasons we haven't done that is for financial reasons. I think it's got something to do with UEFA. Chelsea. I mean, well, we'll keep going with what we were doing with the Athletic, because that's not done yet. So according to Transfer Market, Chelsea have raised 332.25 million euros, which is more than they spent. And that is 328.16 million euros. So not an awful lot more, but slightly more. It means that they have been able to add greater depth to the squad and make lots of changes to the attack while still maintaining a positive transfer balance. This has obvious positive connotations in terms of the Premier League profit and sustainability rules and UEFA's financial measures. Chelsea's settlement, agreed with UEFA after being found guilty of breaching their rules, carried the threat of not being able to register new signings for the Champions League squad. It is more complicated than just money in and out, than a money in, money out scenario. But Chelsea are now relaxed about the situation after the work they have done. Sources say if anyone is left out of the group phase, it will be for a different reason. Sources at the club say no one is getting ahead of themselves and saying they must win the title this campaign. There is optimism, though, that Chelsea are now in a better position to compete for the Premier League for longer and end up closer to the top. As for Jackson, he has an early chance to face Chelsea in Bayern's opening Champions League group game. Unlike the Premier League, UEFA rules means Aloni can play against their parent club, score against them, and the Senegal international will surely feel all the twists and turns over the last few days are worth it. That's what they had to say on The Athletic. So, I mean, look, we're in a positive position financially, mate. Very, very positive. People don't like to talk about money. I appreciate that. And to an extent, I don't want to talk about money. But I don't mind talking about money if we can move in the right direction because of it. If that puts us in a position where actually we're looking all right. And I took this picture. Do I still have the picture? Or maybe I saved it on Instagram. It was all of the different clubs and basically their net spend, right? How many were down and how many were actually making any money? This is the one. So, yeah, you can see the green, and then you can see the red. The green is a lot smaller than the red, right, Kev?
Can you get that up on the screen, on the actual screen, so I can see?
I'm sure I can. I'm absolutely sure I can. So this
Because
is
my eyesight's not the best these days, bro. And that
no,
looks
of course.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll put it on screen very, very shortly. So just bear with me. But I mean, Kev, you see that more clubs are not profitable than they are. So for Chelsea to essentially be able to make money or balance the books, whatever you want to call it, and still look like we've made good business. I mean, what's your take on that? Because there's two sides to this. Because it's not like we haven't stepped forward, we haven't moved in the right direction.
Yeah. Like you said, people don't like to talk about money, and I'm the person that doesn't, bro. Because end of the day, are me and you seen any of the profit that's been made? No, we're not. All we should be bothered about is the stuff that's going on the pitch. A massive club at Chelsea that we've witnessed winning everything in our whole life. We should be going out and going to win Premier Leagues, going to win domestic cups, and winning everything in front of us. And that's the way the priority stays for me. Obviously, yeah, the club is being run better as a business. There's no denying that. Under Abramovich, it was sack managers, sack these, bring players in there, sack players there, and it was, but at the same time, they will go out and get the business done, and then go out and get the best players in the world. But it's totally different now. Like I just said a bit ago, they're a lot more strategic in the players they're bringing in, and a lot of these players, they're not brought in to better the squad. Garnacho, I don't feel for 1 minute that signing is a long-term signing. It's one of them ones. Buy for £40 million, maybe in a couple of season times when you've fixed him up a bit, you sell him on for 80. That's the way most of these signings are going. So from a football perspective, I'm not happy, but from a business perspective and seeing the club run as a business, yeah, we have to be happy. Chelsea are going in the right direction off the pitch, but yeah, we've won the Club World Cup, we've won the Europa Conference League. Can we just stop there and say, what, is that enough? I wanted us to go out and push for the Premier League, and it doesn't seem like they want to do it, bro, because the signings to me don't match. Oh, sorry about that.
It's all right.
Sorry about that. The signings. Let me put this aside. The signings to me don't show me that they want to go. If you're Liverpool, look at Liverpool. Liverpool have put the money where the mouth is. They've gone and won a Premier League and signed 6-7 top class players. So they definitely going to be in it. We have gone and signed probably 2 or 3 top players at best. So you can see
who.
Liverpool.
Oh, Liverpool.
So you can see the difference. Look at what Liverpool have done, bro. And okay, they didn't quite get the Mark Guehi signing across the line.
Well, you do realise if we would have done what Liverpool did, then we wouldn't have been able to register those players for UEFA competitions. You know that, right?
Why is that?
Because we were we're being basically punished by UEFA for breaching their rules in previous windows.
Yeah, I understand. So we're having to show.
That's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen it. We're having to show away from the books. So this is the reason why they've been panic selling, getting players out as quick as possible. But it's all their own fault, brother. This is the thing, though.
Is it panic selling, though? Is it? Is it really?
It's panic selling, bro.
I mean, panic selling means you're not making that makes it seem like you're not getting good deals.
Yeah,
I wouldn't call selling Madueke for 52 million a panic sell. I wouldn't say Jackson for 70 is a panic. Like, I mean, the list goes on, right? I could go on and on about deals which are very good. Very good deals, mate. Like, you can say whatever you want about the bigger picture. You look at that deal and you go, well, did Chelsea get anything good out of it? Majority of the time, your thumbs are up. And I agree with the comment as well. The sanctions were self-inflicted, but do you know what's crazy? Is we did that because even by breaking the rules initially, we gave ourselves a head start. And the amount of mistakes that we were able to make in terms of bringing in players that basically aren't good enough or were not good enough. We were never to know that at the time for some of these guys. And now we've basically been able to rectify those mistakes. And you're telling me the only penalty that we have to pay is 26 million quid. How many ownerships would pay 26 million pounds if they knew that the next, let's just say 10, I don't even know how many signings we made at that point. Let's just say 10 signings. You knew which ones were going to flop and which ones were going to be successful. You would pay 26 million to be able to rectify that as quickly as possible. So
I understand what you mean.
I don't actually have a problem with us getting sanctioned, mate, because we've dealt with it so well. The problem is if you get sanctioned and then you're just fucked. I mean, that's a different story, mate. Lying on the ground and basically not being able to take the punches. But I can't say that that's been the case for Chelsea because we've been bobbing and weaving. We've sold the hotels, we've sold the car park. You know, we've made profit on players. Whatever you want to talk about, flipping, mate, and we've improved. So why are people complaining?
They sold the women's football team to the Souls, bro.
Villa tried to do that as well, haven't they? Have they done it?
Blocks. We are the loophole.
Wait, Villa couldn't do it.
Nah, it's been blocked because we're exposing the loopholes before other teams can do it, and then once UEFA and Premier League clock onto it, they're just blocking it. So Chelsea are a step ahead of the game. They are smart businessmen. Why do you think they're multi-billionaires? They are only multi-billionaires because they know where to make money. But we are Chelsea Football Club. We're not bothered about how much money they made. There are multi-billionaires, bro. Me and you are just working class people, bro. We ain't bothered. All we're bothered about is turning up on a weekend and seeing Chelsea lifting trophies and performing to the best. That's all we're bothered about. So they have made the bed. Well, they've laid in the bed so they can make it, brother. They've made the mistakes. So if they are getting, it's on them, bro. We never told them to go and sign. How much players have the Soul brought right now? I'm hearing 50 players in about two years. 50 players, bro. We didn't want 50 players. I'd rather have 20 players that are quality rather than 50 players. So they know what they're doing, brother. They know the model is clear. They want to stockpile all these youngsters, build them up, loan them out, and sell them off a profit. So if the shit is the finding that goes wrong, it's on them, bro. Because it's not rocket science, bro. We've never ever witnessed this model in the history of football, bro. It's very unique.
Yeah, it is unique. No, you're right. So do you think that we bought Caicedo for profit?
No.
Enzo?
I feel like you can't really lose out on him. But I feel like if an offer were to come up in the next season, it doesn't do too well, I thought we could sell him. So that one's a bit
for profit.
You can't lose out on him, so you can only make profit. So
but
maybe
that would be like what, over 110 million? You think you make profit?
Real Madrid have been sniffing around him. I'm sure, mate. In this window, when you're seeing a Florian Wirtz going for 130, I'm sure Enzo's worth a similar amount. So yeah, I'd say you could make profit in Enzo. Yeah.
Okay. No, fair enough. Okay, so here's the graph on the teams and the net spend. Okay, so right at the bottom you got Arsenal, below them Liverpool, Man United below them, Tottenham, Sunderland, Man City. All of these teams losing big money. Even Leeds, they've all spent big. All of them. I'm trying to think. Yeah, they've all spent big. I mean, Burnley. To think that 45 million of that 93 million that they spent went to us for Broha and Ugachukwu. I mean, Ugachukwu I can understand more, but Broha, I don't really understand the thought process there. So, I mean, has he played any minutes for Burnley yet?
No, I don't think he has. He's not fit, isn't he? He's not fit. He's not fit. He's struggled with his fitness the last 2 years, hasn't he? With that after that knee injury.
You see Bournemouth right at the top. Obviously, they've sold loads. I don't even think they wanted to sell that much, but you know, if the money's good, the money's good. They sold Huijsen for
50.
They must. Oh, actually, that's profit. Fuck, that's not even like all of their sales, is it?
They sold.
They sold
Dean
their
Holton,
two centre backs. They sold Kirkes to Liverpool, Zubimendi, PSG. My God. Palace up, Villa up, Brentford. They sold Vissa and oh God, who's the guy who went to Arsenal?
Where are you from? Eze.
From Brentford, mate. Brentford.
Oh, from Brentford. Oh, that Dutch, Danish.
Yes, yes. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's gone to Arsenal. And then Chelsea are like in the plus section. So we're looking healthy, mate. Now, this is an issue when you don't feel like your football club's moving in a good direction. Again, I ask the question, are we moving upwards? Are we stagnating? Or are we moving backwards? I'll leave that to you in the chat as well. In fact, we'll run a poll. I'll run a poll. I want to know what you think as well, Kev. While I'm doing the poll, are we moving upwards? Are we stagnating? Or are we moving backwards?
I feel like we're still... okay. Without those two trophies and Champions League football, we
No. I don't want to know what we would have been without. I want to know what we are right now.
Okay. I say we are slowly moving forwards. Let's be honest, slowly moving forwards. But with that in mind, we are not learning from the mistakes that we keep on making window after window. And that's my concern. Things could be a lot more better if they just put the money where their mouth is and go and get elite rather than just keep on getting kids and loan them out. You know, that's the way it seems it's going. But yeah, from what it was this time last season, when we just got rid of Pochettino and that was the season before, that was an absolute mess, to now, everyone's got to be honest, bro. We've moved forward, haven't we? So slow steps forward.
The poll is out. So let's get your votes in, guys. If you're an X and you want to contribute to the poll, come over to YouTube and then you can have your say. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know your thoughts and your feelings. I'll give it a couple of minutes. We're better squad-wise than we were last season. Shano says, all I can say under these owners is roll on when they sell. The end of the window has been pretty shy. Good to see Cotton. Don't worry about a thing. We must stay calm. Big up Alex and Kev. Cannot have everyone or everything. Better than last season for sure. Kevin, they don't want to win big trophies. Moving forward very slowly.
Yeah.
If we got a goalkeeper and didn't let Xavi go to Spurs, we'd be much happier. Okay. So let's see what the poll is. I'll give you 5 seconds, guys. Get your last votes in. 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to end the poll now. All right, let's see the results of this poll. Where's it gone?
I can see it. 78% moving forward.
Where can you see it?
I'm watching it on my laptop. I'm watching it on my iPad down here. So 78% forward, 15% staying the same, and 5% moving backwards. So it's a clear. Everyone's clearly feeling like we're moving forward.
Okay. I don't know why my chat stopped working on YouTube. I can see it now. I can see it. I'm with you. 15% say we're stagnant. I would love to know what the 5%, where that backwards. How do you justify that argument? How do you justify that? We need to buy Manyan in January, says Kieran.
Get him for free. That's the thing. That's a no-brainer. Get him for free. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to get him, you won't pay any money for him.
No, we'll get him for, but you can't. Obviously, we signed the pre-contract 6 months before his contract ends, and the next summer he comes for free. And what is he? 29, 30? Probably got 2-3 years left of a top keeper, which makes sense. And I can understand.
But then, Kev, you put him on like a 5-year
contract.
contract, and then whenever you want to sell him, you can get a couple of million for him. That's what they'll do.
Yeah, they'll profit off him. They'll make profit off him somewhere down the line. This, to be honest with you, Bob, like I said a bit ago, I can see why they never went and got him for 25 million euros when you can just wait 6 months to get him for free. And the thing is, under Abramovich, no ifs or buts, he would have gone and signed him. They would have gone and signed him and not made any money further down the line. You wait 6 months, get him for free, and then still make money on him. This makes sense, bro. I can see why, from a business, they are smart businessmen. But it's frustrating that we still have to probably stay with another keeper for another season, which we all know is not good enough. So, yeah, that's where we are.
JC says, I will explain the 5%. They will say, we sold Jackson, not enough attackers. We didn't bring a goalkeeper, and we don't have centre-backs. Not enough attackers. Weren't we just complaining? Weren't people just complaining that we should have got a centre back instead of an attacker, though, instead of Garnacho? That's the argument people are saying, isn't it?
We sold Jackson, not enough attackers. We've got way more than enough attackers.
No, but he's saying that's what they would say.
Yeah, I don't. Okay,
we didn't bring goalkeeper. We don't have centre backs. I don't know. I mean, we will sign players that are older. We've seen it, but if it's not financially viable, then they won't do it. They will not do it. And Tosin, this is where Tosin for me was another great signing because he was free, and I think that's the market that you'll see Chelsea trying to exploit is the free transfers. And you're seeing a lot more clubs basically sacrificing, a year, knowing that they can get a fee for players if they can. But Mark Guehi's going to go for free to Liverpool. That's not ideal for us. But yeah, he's going to go. I mean, we're not getting Mark Guehi. Everybody knows he wants to go to Liverpool. He doesn't want to play for us. He does not want to play for us. So you can't use that example. But yeah, Kev, mate, very healthy from a net spend point of view, which is something that I think people may not like, but it's something that you have to appreciate. Now we'll highlight Disasi as well, mate. He rejected a number of loans in the Premier League. He rejected 3 loans. So what's your take on Disasi as a player? I mean, do you like him? Do you think that he can reintegrate into the squad, or is his time at Chelsea finished?
Oh, his time at Chelsea is finished. Not last season, the season before. It's that bad. Disasi right back was. I think what game was it now when I seen him play right? I think it was Villa away 2 seasons ago when he did actually score in the last minute and it got disallowed. But he was just getting isolated at right back, and it was just so hard to see. Very, very slow. Can't read the game properly. Mistimes his challenges. Just not a Premier League quality player. And I thought like this could be a similar scenario to Sterling. Why is he pushing through a move when he's getting paid massive wages? He's not in a rush, is he? He can just sit in London in his nice fancy apartment and get his 100 and whatever he's getting a week. Literally. So it's going to be difficult to get him gone. It's going to be really, because no team is going to want to play for a player who's on those wages and is that standard of quality. It's just a similar scenario to Sterling. So yeah, Disasi by the sheer late, nowhere near good enough.
I don't think Disasi's on 40k, guys. I don't know where you're getting that number from.
Nah, he's on 100 and something. He's on 100 and something K a week.
He's on about 100 grand. He's on about 100k, mate. That's what he's on. So I don't know where we're getting this 40k from. Gusto's on about 45k. That's a very cheap wage, but that might be pre-Champions League. So with the 30% bump, probably more like 60 or 70k. Still very, very minimal. I would argue that a player like Gusto should probably be on at least 100. But he signed a long-term deal. I'm sure Chelsea are going to try and pin him down and maybe give him a little bit of a pay rise, understandably. But yeah, I mean, in terms of clubs that Disasi has turned down this summer, West Ham.
Weird.
West Ham had held talks with Chelsea, but Disasi wasn't interested in the move. That's according to Jacob Steinberg in The Guardian.
He's thin enough for Graham Potter's tactics.
Yeah. That's understandable. Crystal Palace. So Graham Bailey, he reported that Disasi said no to West Ham and also said no to Crystal Palace.
Which is a weird.
I guess that would have been the replacement for Mark Gurhey if he would have left. Obviously, that's why he stayed, because they couldn't get a replacement. At Palace, the same report from Graham Bailey also lists Bournemouth among the clubs whose interest Disasi were rejected. And then you also see Wolves' name coming up, and Ajax. And that's also according to Graham Bailey. So if you look at it, it's actually 4 Premier League sides. But I only heard about
Palace and West Ham. Palace,
I heard about Wolves as well. I didn't hear about Bournemouth. Yeah, that one is one. So
yeah. I cannot believe he's rejected Palace, mate. A team.
I think the Palace one
seems the more.
I don't know why he's done that. They've got European football as well.
Yeah, they've got UEFA Conference League. Yeah, it's a weird. I just feel like he's just going to hold out for somewhere bigger, but he's not going to get anywhere bigger. He's just not. He went to Villa last year. Didn't quite work out in there. He had Champions League football. If he had done well there, I'm sure Villa would have came back in for him. But they obviously didn't want to renew their interest, and he's just left rotting at Chelsea. Him and Badiashile, same kind of players. They're just nowhere near good enough, and we're stuck with them. So, yeah, that's where we are.
Yeah, I'm seeing in the comments you're saying he's on 40k. Palmer was on 130k. That would have gone up. He'll be on about 180 now, maybe 190. So yeah, that's with the wage rise. 40k, definitely not. I'm absolutely certain. I'll find that out for you guys. Let's not hate on Disasi too much, guys. Jesus Christ. What's everyone's thoughts on Badiashile? Except amazing he escaped the selling. Well, you know what? That's an interesting one, to be fair. I think that Badiashile is a good squad player. Nothing more than that. I think he's a good squad player, mate. What's your take on it, Kev? I look at Badiashile the same way I looked at Dewsbury Hall last season. Don't have a problem with him. I just don't want him starting every week.
I just have no trust in him, bro. I think it was the Real Madrid game last pre-season when you literally just walked and let the ball go in. That was it for me, bro. I said sell him, and we're still with him now. Like, we can't keep giving these players more opportunities to let us down, bro. They're just not good enough. Badiashile is not even good enough for a bottom of the half Premier League team in my eyes, bro. So why do we feel he's a good enough backup? A backup option should be someone who similar level to your starting players. When you've got Colwell and Badiashile, the levels are not there, bro. So for me, nah. If there's an opportunity to get him gone, I'd take it at the first expense, bro. They're just not good enough. Him by the shield, Disasi by the shield, not good enough for Chelsea, bro.
I can't believe this. Look, apparently, Disasi is actually on 40k a week. How the hell does that make any sense? I can't believe that. I swear, Badiashiel's on like 80 or 90. How is Disasi on half of the money that Badiashiel's on? That's crazy.
Yeah. Two more of our sporting directors' major signings, which were just and the narrative is going to be when we do sell them. Oh well, we've made more money, we've sold more players. Well, you're the one who brought them in. They shouldn't
It
be
shouldn't even
getting
be difficult to move on, Kev. His wage is so low.
Yeah, and we shouldn't be applauding selling players, bro. What I don't see why we are applauding £312 million worth of signings like it's something massive, like it's a massive achievement. The sporting directors have brought them all in, bro, and most of them we haven't even made profit on. So I'm not happy with it, bro. Like by the shoulder, Disasi should have been high on the list to be getting gone, bro, and that would have probably give us more space to maneuver. A better. We've just gone and loaned out that defender to Borussia Dortmund, Alessandro, whatever his name is. He could have probably had the opportunity to, as Salendo, whatever.
Alsamino.
Alsamino, sorry, freaking out. Alsamino. We've got that many players I don't even know how to keep up anymore.
No, Kev, we should do a genuine quiz of player pronunciation, and we should do prizes for you. We should do that.
Yeah.
Who would like to see that with the sort of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire music in the background?
Okay, put a player up now then and ask me to pronounce his name.
No. I wanna make. We'll make a show out of that, Kev. We can do something proper. We won't do it now.
All right, cool. I'm happy with that.
I'd be well up for that. I think that'd be class.
If you're paying me £1 million, brother, I'm all up for it.
What's that?
I said if you're paying me £1 million, yeah, I'm all up for it. Get it sorted.
You've sort of really gone into that one, Kev. Financial Fan TV. Jesus. You want £1 million?
Yeah. I'm joking. But yeah, back to the football. Yeah, I would have liked to see that Argentinian who was loaned to Dortmund get a chance, but we all know why we've loaned him to Dortmund. Gets an opportunity in the German league, gets an opportunity in the Champions League.
Mate. Yeah.
We brought him for 15 million pound, was it, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Has a good season, £40 million next season. That's the only
I don't necessarily think we'll sell Anselmino. One I'm not sure, especially when we've got the problems that we have in that position. He is a left-sided centre-back who can pass the ball out, a bit like Colwell, a bit like that sort of player. So I wouldn't bank on Anselmino being sold. The model, mate, is obviously about flipping players for profit, but it's nice you can pick and choose, because they could have sold Colwell for profit, if that's the argument we want to use, and he's a key part of what we're doing. So there are players that will slot in. The only way the model doesn't work is if you sell all of them. Well, then you're just fucking meaty. Also, nobody would want to come to Chelsea because they'd be like, I'm going to get sold anyway. But this is kind of a mixture of everything. And that's why I think they do it in bulk. It has to be, because you've got to keep some and then you sell the rest.
Andre Santos as well. Someone has put in the chat. Andre Santos, we could have sold him. West Ham, I think there was negotiating spending.
Yeah, mate, 50 million. That was was it 40 million?
Rejected.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it was rejected. So you are right. I think they can pick and choose either one to flip. But I think with the major acquisitions that they bought, which they feel that can work, they'll keep hold of the ones that, like David Washington and the ones that, you can make a bit of. They'll get gone as Petrovic, for instance. They'll get rid of players like that at the quickest of instance.
Let me just close my window quickly. You keep going. Let me close my window.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't even know what to say, man. But chat, let me know your thoughts, man. Disasi, by the show, would they have been priority for yourselves to be sold? Why are they still here? Do you feel like in the January we'll get them gone? Let us know in the chat. Disasi by the show, maybe that's more money for us to bring in on the FFP in January, because there's certainly a lot more players that we can get rid of. Just going to read through the chat.
It's pouring down, Kev.
I know.
I got less than 3. I'm going to have to cancel it.
Have you? It's not looking good
mate,
as well.
It's not looking great.
Yeah, man. But what else about this? Because I'm going to go and make some food, man. What else?
All right, we'll storm through it. So, oh God, who did we miss? We haven't spoken about Deivid Washington. So this is a player that, yes. So let's have a look on this. So he's returning to Chelsea, Deivid Washington. A lot of people might remember this one from a little while ago. Chelsea requested the player's return due to Liam Delap's injury and Nicholas Jackson's departure to Bayern Munich. And then there's a little bit more context above, saying that Santos had the option to keep Deivid Washington, but agreed to return him. Chelsea will pay a fee or deduct part of the agreed loan amount. Deivid scored just 1 goal in 19 games for them.
I don't know what to say about it, bro. We've seen him. I think I've seen him once or twice in the Chelsea shirt. Obviously, gone back to Brazil to try and get more minutes. Hasn't worked out there. Now we've left with another player stuck within Cobham. I haven't seen much of him. Do you think he's good enough to even be a second, third choice striker right now, bro? I haven't seen much of him.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I don't really think he'll play for us. I think he'll probably have another loan. I think that's going to be Chelsea's strategy to try and loan him so he has a successful loan. That's a very strange play, because we buy him from
20 million
Santos, and then they bought him back, and then we bought him back or something. It's a very strange. We kept loaning him and bringing him back. Can someone enlighten us in the chat? I want to make sure.
It's a bit like the Fofana, that Joe Fofana. That's similar scenario to that, bro. We're just stuck with these players, and you know what it is to me, brother. I feel like we're kind of ruining the career as well, because they're like 19, 20, 21. They're at the pinnacle of their career to improve and get the game time, and we're bringing them in, and we're just messing around with the careers, bro. Because just stop playing for teams that they don't want to play for. It's just pointless, bro. It really is pointless. I just hope that we can find a solution for Fofana and Washington as soon as possible, and I hope it's not alone. Just sell him. Literally, just sell him.
Yeah, that's business that I don't really get. I think that's before. I think that's before Win Stanley and Stewart and all of that. I think that's like really old business. What about Raheem Sterling? What's your take on that one? He's going to be staying at Chelsea. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Raheem Sterling. If we can't get rid of him in January, I feel like we just take a loss and just terminate contract. If we terminate his contract, that means he has to find another club. If he wants to stay in London, maybe he can get a move to West Ham, get a move to Fulham, Crystal Palace, and lower his wages. Right now, why would he lower his wages to 80,000 a week when he's on 300? It just doesn't make sense. So the only way I can see him getting off the books at Chelsea is if we release him. I feel like he could be a useful player in the under-21s and the Premier League 2, just giving him some experience, giving him some guidance, etc. Maybe in the League Cup ties, maybe he gets a little run there. But I'm sure Chelsea fans won't be happy to see him. So, yeah, I feel like if you can't get rid of him in January, just sell him. Not even sell him, just exclude his contract and get him off the books.
Fair enough. Okay, and then we got another player who, this is a very, very strange situation. So Ishe Samuel Smith has completed a season on loan to Swansea City, having rejoined Chelsea from Strasbourg. What a weird... I mean, you must have heard about this one, Kev.
Yeah, well, I've seen it.
This is so strange. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say everything Chelsea do is dodgy, because I think a lot of it is within the bounds of the law and you loopholes, all the rest of it. But this is just strange. I don't get this one. I don't get it.
Yeah. I literally don't know anything about these players. I don't know the names. I've never seen them play, and we're just playing around with mediocre players, bro. Like loaning them here, bringing them back, loaning them elsewhere, bringing them back. It's just a freaking game for him, bro. I'm not bothered about it all, bro. I just want to see my team go out and try and pass players, bro. I've seen it, and I'm just like, it's another one. It's just another cock up, bro. One of 6 cock ups this transfer window, bro. Literally, from the start to the finish, it's been a shit show, bro. But that's what it is, bro. They are trying to find every single loophole possible to try and maximize the profits on mediocre players, bro. It's just like a Brighton model, bro. That's what it is. Literally.
According to Luke Mudway, says his permanent move was cancelled as he got homesick, similar to when Tyler Diblin joined us. I mean,
so basically, we signed the player from Swansea, loaned him to Strasbourg. What?
No. It's got nothing to do with Swansea, mate. So he's gone to Swansea now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just because he's close, because he's in the same country as his family, presumably, and they wouldn't move to France.
What, is he Welsh?
I don't think so.
He said, remember, Swansea's in Wales, bro.
But it's still in the same vicinity, the border. You could walk across the border. Do you know what I mean?
United Kingdom, yeah, I understand.
I mean, that's a bit of a... I don't really get that. I am diving into this one as well. So apparently the full picture on Ishe Samuel Smith with sources. Okay. So he's sold to Strasbourg in July. And the fee was around 6-7 million euros. And then he was re-signed by Chelsea on the 2nd of September and immediately loaned to Swansea City. The official announcement confirms he's rejoining Chelsea from Strasbourg, and he'll wear number 16. He didn't play a competitive match for Strasbourg. He was on the bench for a game, so the loan to Swansea is permitted under the rule that a player can be registered with 3 clubs, but play official matches for two in the same season. Why the quick U-turn? A detailed what the fuck?
It just makes me laugh, bro, man. Steve. Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand. It doesn't have any details. Where does it say, guys, that he was homesick? Where does it say that?
I'm seeing here Rubik's Rob said that they done it to free a spot up for Chilwell to go. Makes sense.
Yeah, but you can do. Yeah, but no, but Chilwell's not a loan deal. That's a permanent deal. You can do as many permanent transfers to one club as you want, right?
Yeah.
Or are we just talking tactically here? Oh, because he was in the same position. I see. Left-sided defensive. Fucking fair enough. Fair enough. That is it's a bit dodgy, if I'm honest, but if it
This is
helps the
what
club.
we're used to. We're used to it, bro. This is what we do now. It's dodgy. Everything's dodgy about it, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Jordan
all right.
Evans, yeah,
Well,
he was saying Chelsea signed Brazilian forward David Washington from Santos for a fee of 20 million euro, 17.2 million pound in August. Then back to Santos in the January transfer window. Then we called again. So he sold him, brought him back. What's going on, bro? What's all this about?
smash the like button, guys, if you haven't already. We should have at least 100 likes on YouTube. We've got almost 120 of you in here. If you're watching on X, we've got, how many people have got on X? We've got almost 500 of you on X. So retweet, like on X as well. It all helps. It all supports the channel. We appreciate everyone that has watched the stream. I think we're going to wrap it up there, Kev. This has been a good one, mate.
Yep.
Good to catch up. Good to see all the latest. And big up to everyone that has watched. If you want to get any of the latest Chelsea shirts, I know there's a lot of shirts that have come out. The third shirt, there is a link below. So now you can get some of the new Chelsea gear by clicking on the link in our description for all of the latest Chelsea gear. So go and check that one out as well, guys. Big up to you, Kev, as well. Really appreciate your time. And we'll be back with another stream very shortly. All right, guys. Cheers, everyone.